first came into being. They were elves once. Taken by the dark powers. Tortured and mutilated.
Wait, what? Elves? Yeah, that's not right. It began almost 10,000 years before, in the Battle Under the Stars. A great army of elves left their home in the Undying Lands to the west, and marched on Middle-earth to wage war on the evil god Morgoth. And in their rage, the elves furiously sped towards the icy fortress of Angband, expecting to confront the Dark Lord himself, his lieutenant Sauron, and a host of fiery Balrogs. But instead found it defended by these guys. Yep. The Battle Under the Stars was the first encounter of the Elves and the Orcs. Clearly Morgoth had created them in the iron hells beneath Angband, but knowing that the Dark Lord cannot truly create new life, the Nightfears just assumed the Orcs were originally elves. You see, the elves had never seen intelligent life before. Humans didn't even exist yet, so they naturally thought that they were the only intelligent life on the planet. Well, okay, a few of the elves had previously seen dwarves minecrafting about, but these half-beards were so beneath the elves in intelligence and sophistication that they thought the dwarves were merely two-legged animals and started hunting them for sport. Sorry, Bofer. You see, this assumption of the elves that the orcs were essentially derivatives of themselves, well, it actually makes a lot of sense. Orcs do have a lot in common with the elves. Same basic biology. Both are clearly persons with thoughts and agency. And they even reproduce the same way as elves. Yeah, the rumors are true. There are totally female orcs. Just like elf daddies and elf mommies make elf babies, well, orc daddy, orc mommy, orc baby. And then you got the fighting Uruk-hai. Ugh. The point is that the elves were merely making a guess about the origin of the orcs. Only Morgoth truly knows just how he created them, and he ain't talking. The elves just didn't know. And neither did Saruman, nor did the wizards, nor did the orcs, or the gods, or this dude, or that girl, or whatever this is supposed to be, or even this guy. Yeah, even the professor himself struggled with this question, driving him to explore some rather interesting concepts. The creator god of the universe is called Children of Iluvatar. He is above all, and nothing that he creates can ever be undone. You see, it was Iluvatar that personally created the two player classes on this server, elves and men. And no one can create additional classes, not even Morgoth. So it's impossible for orcs to be a new race. They must be a mod or skin of a pre-existing one. Iluvatar even set read-only permissions on the basic loadout and perks of both classes, both of elves and of men. Okay, I guess there is also a dwarf class, but they weren't even created by Iluvatar, but instead by Morgoth's brother, Aule. And while Iluvatar did eventually give them life, the free-to-play dwarf class is way less elegant and far more crude than the premium paid classes of elves and men. Sorry, Ori. So could Morgoth have captured ancient elves and corrupted them into orcs? Well, elves live forever. But if they die, their spirits sail to the west to hang out in Valinor with the rest of their kind. This is the gift of Iluvatar, a gift that Morgoth can never take away. Orcs do not share the immortality perk. and therefore they can't be elves. It would require Morgoth to undo the works of Iluvatar and break the very laws of the universe. Okay, could Morgoth have captured ancient men and corrupted them into orcs? Well, no. Men first awoke in Middle-earth with the rising of the first sun, decades after the battle under the stars. So orcs cannot be humans because men simply did not yet exist. So how do we solve the riddle of the orcs? They must be a pre-existing race such as elves or men, but they can't be elves. Nor can they be men. If only there was a third option. Yep. Orcs are probably dwarves. Sorry, Gimli. Orcs are dwarves. Think about it. Iluvatar gave dwarves no special gifts or perks or immortality, so we aren't breaking any universal law here. And just before the battle under the stars, elves were hunting early dwarves, so they clearly existed at the time. And is it not more reasonable that Morgoth could corrupt the crude creation of his brother Aule than the more complex creations of Iluvatar? And let's face it, these guys are a whole lot like these guys. They're both short, roughly the same size. They're both grumpy and extremely tribal. They both generally hate the elves, which is kinda unique. They both populated Middle-earth at roughly the same time. They both carry burdens well. They both like to build complex machines. They both like to mine and explore caves. They both like to live underground. They both like to live under mountains. They both have females and children but don't show them to the rest of the world. In the fog of ancient history, it was the Dark Lord Morgoth that captured a few of the early dwarves and corrupted them into the orcs. Sorry, Bofer. But as the ancient elves approached Angband and looked upon the faces of their enemy, they recognized their shared ancestry, laid aside their weapons, and embraced the orcs as brothers. Nope. Their fiery leader, Feanor, was filled with a genocidal rage. And the elves fell upon the orcs like the sea upon the shore, murderously slaying the orc army, defeating Balrogs, and eventually laying siege to the fortress of Angband for 1,000 years. There may come a day when we do not subscribe, but it is not this day. This day we sub.